On this episode, we're headed deep into a canyon full of strange rock formations and ancient petroglyphs that reveal a rich history of indigenous habitation and the presence of early pioneers in search of fortune. But as we trace the footsteps of both ancient and modern man, what will we discover? Will we come to understand something about how they lived, their thoughts and dreams? Come along on this journey to find out. It wasn't far up the canyon before we arrived at this odd geological formation, a huge protrusive rock slab, carved by time and the elements, like a fallen portal to another dimension. I can't help but wonder what forces eroded this shape into being. And just ahead, wedged into the crook of a dry fall, lies this perfectly shaped boulder, one that traveled through the canyon inch by inch over millennia, or which crashed here violently by the onslaught of some 1,000-year flood. How long will it be until it moves again? Now, cetacean walls rise on either side. The vastness of the open mountain topography closes in, and so too do we feel embraced by it. Here, Native American people would gather in this airy passageway, away from the scorching heat of the summer's sun, to pass time in dreaming and the creation of these archaic symbols. The old glyphs here blend into the gray layers like indistinct treasures, and with each passing day seem to pull us further and further away from their original meaning. If only we could return to a time when we could understand for ourselves what their creators intended, so too might we understand the secrets of how to flourish in such a harsh and unforgiving environment. Soon, huge walls of striated lines close in even more upon us, and we have truly entered another dimension. The temperature cools and every sound becomes an echo. Standing here, you can feel your own presence within these rocks, and the profound stillness that these walls represent. And here, newer, more defined markings emerge from the stone. In the early 1900s, pioneers seeking the promise of gold were lured into these mountains. They walked upon the same sand and through these same passageways, and somewhere far higher where the juniper dots the hillsides, they established a mining camp, found handfuls of shiny metallic rock, smiled at their good fortune, and soon thereafter left. In front of us are the markings of their hopes and dreams. Like their forebears, they too left symbols on this stone. Names, dates, locations. This glyph by C.D. Ruiz from Rhyolite, Nevada on October 13, 1906, and this one pointing out to fellow travelers where to find the next water. Simple yet utterly significant. But did they uncover what they'd been seeking, more than just gold? Did this strange land offer them something more fulfilling and better than what they'd had before? And what circumstances encouraged them to endure such a challenge in this desolate and remote landscape in the first place? We can only imagine. In the canyon's heart, the mystery intensifies. A series of towering passageways lead to an opening on which rest giant slabs like petrified whale skin, rocks which unfold stories that defy our comprehension, hundreds of glyphs, thousands of dots individually pecked into stone. Seemingly haphazard in their placement, one can't help but hope that there is a semblance of meaning to it all. Is this a map? Perhaps directions to a hidden water source? Or where to find game? Some kind of tabulation? And what about this spaceship-like basket formation? I was reminded of the Voyager Golden Record sent into deep space in 1977. The disk's perplexing symbolism, in hope of being recovered by an advanced alien society, communicates information about life on Earth. Do these petroglyphs contain similar secrets about the life of ancient man, or are they mere scribbles to while away the time during the hot days of summer, and contain no greater significance after all? When visiting a site like this, we are ultimately left with our thoughts and the question of why these images were created, and what their creator's intention might have been. Ultimately, any satisfaction lies in our own ability to make stories out of the abstract. As our day wanes and the sun descends behind the mountains, our trek approaches its end, and we are now fully immersed in the surrealism of this landscape. All around us are the patterns and structures carved over eons by the works of Mother Nature, that which no language can understand. Like all visitors to this place, our presence here is temporary, a mere grain of sand in the vast ocean of time. But there is one thing we do know, that something happens when we enter such a place, something bigger on a figurative level, and we do not emerge from the canyon the same as when we arrived. Thanks for coming along on this episode of Artistic Off-Road. We hope you enjoyed our journey into this ancient canyon. We'll see you next time.